If your parents are still in the family home, this is the conversation you cannot afford to avoid. If your mom and dad are still living in the home that you grew up in, or if they've lived in that same home for over a decade, and you're starting to hear a little small voice in the back of your head that has you starting to wonder, are they okay in there? Is this still a safe place for them to be? Then this is your sign to stop avoiding that conversation, because that's the hardest part. It's not moving. It's starting the conversation about moving. I'm Meredith Davis with the Wildflower Properties Group, brokered by KSP. I've been an agent here in Houston, Texas, helping families navigate through big transitions in life that involve their homes for almost 2 decades now. So I've been helping families navigate the downsizing process for several years now as a realtor, but I've also walked through this with my own parents. So I understand both sides. I understand that as the adult child, you worry that you may offend your parents. And I also understand that the parent doesn't want to feel pushed out of the home. I mean, think about it. Some of our parents have lived in their current home for a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades. So you need to know that this is not a conversation about real estate. It's about respect and safety. And most important, it's about planning ahead before a crisis forces your hand. So why does this conversation matter? Here's what I see happen over and over again. Families wait. Nobody wants to talk about it. The adult children don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, and the parents don't want to ask for help. So they wait, and life keeps happening. A fall or an illness, and that leads to a hospital stay. Or what if one of your parents passes? Or maybe none of those things happen, but the home has just become physically overwhelming for them to maintain. And then at this point, decisions have to be made quickly when emotions are high and time is short. And that means your options become limited. But when you start the conversation early, you actually gain options. Starting early allows for time to explore different home options. Will you be going from a 2-story to a 1-story? Would that make a difference? Or would a condo with amenities be a better option? Or maybe it's time to research 55 and over communities. Time to evaluate your finances, or do your parents need to cash out and buy again? Or would they prefer to lease? So you've got to start the process and realize how emotional it is. And having that time offers you peace of mind. Let me give you something practical you can actually use to broach the subject. I call it the curiosity approach. Instead of blurting out something like, "Hey mom, don't you think it's time to move?" Maybe try starting by asking some questions like, how are you feeling about keeping up with the house lately? If you could design your next chapter, what would it look like? Or would you want fewer stairs or less yard work? Or how about moving closer to us? That way you're not like pushing them out the door. You're inviting them into a conversation that gets the wheels turning and hopefully gets them thinking about it. And here's something else I've learned from both my clients and my own parents. Most of your parents are probably already thinking about it. They just don't want to burden their kids. They don't want to ask for help. So a lot of times they're relieved when you gently open that door. So what does downsizing actually mean? Let's just recap that. Downsizing does not mean your parents have to lose their independence. In many cases, it actually allows your parents more freedom, more free time, fewer maintenance responsibilities, lower monthly expenses, maybe a safer layout, more manageable living spaces. Or what about being closer to family or medical care? It's not about shrinking their world. It's about simplifying it so they can enjoy it, so they can get out and play golf or volunteer or just have more time with their friends and families. But don't forget the emotional side is real. Sorting through decades of memories is no small thing. And that's why this process needs to start early and slow and with intention. If this conversation is something that's been on your mind, don't ignore it. Start gently, lead with curiosity, and most importantly, start before you have to. Because when you plan ahead, there tends to be fewer hurt feelings, more informed decisions. And remember, you're not alone in this, and it doesn't have to be chaotic. So start early and with kindness. So I'll see you in the next video.